Good evening and welcome. You're with News First, your number one news provider. I'm Shamir Rasuldi.
And I'm Kumarini Rajakarna. Gazette notification reinstating the Colombo Municipal Council published today. We have more details on this later on in the news bulletin, but as always, let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines tonight.
Indian Prime Minister stresses that economic ties with Sri Lanka cannot be restricted. A group of CEB workers engage in trade union action. Monk elected as chairman of the Amblipiti Urban Council assumes duty. And also, the Milanguru Tasker embarks on final journey.
For the stories in detail now. Workers attached to the United Trade Union Alliance of the Ceylon Electricity Board went on sick leave today as part of a trade union action. According to Operations Committee member of the United Trade Union Alliance of the CEB, Ranjan Jalal, activities at the head office of the Ceylon Electricity Board had been hampered owing to the workers of the CEB reporting sick today.
If there is an electricity breakdown in the country, it cannot be rectified since all the breakdown officers have been shut down. The current subject minister has said that he is not afraid since he could pay the debt obtained by former ministers. We would like to ask what ethical right he has then to tell the workers of the CEB that he does not know of this debt which had been obtained by the former minister.
We made inquiries in this regard from Subject Minister Champika Ranawaka.
And this is kind of a politically motivated thing. We expected that kind of disciplined and non-violence kind of trade union action. But it has been reported that threatening calls and various kind of obstructions to our workforce is being experienced. So next time we will keenly implement laws as well as disciplinary courts. Those who are, use their posts and take our people as hostages using this basic utility.
However, our cameras were able to capture these scenes at the CEB head office.
They say they are on sick leave. I told that final notice has been served and electricity will be disconnected. They should be responsible if electricity is disconnected.
All the counters have been closed and they're refusing to accept payments. This is the manner in which payment centers located outside of Colombo operated. Meanwhile, we received information of electricity breakdowns in the areas of Matugava, Mundragala, Ratmalan and Morotua. When we made inquiries, oral engineers stated that there was no inconvenience caused in restoring the supply. However, it was reported that owing to the trade union action, restoration of supply in certain areas was hampered.
You can watch the full interview with Minister of Power and Energy Champika Ranawaka on Friday at 9:30 p.m. on Channel 1 MTV on Biz First in Focus.
According to Indian media reports, Premier Dr. Manmohan Singh has asserted that India cannot restrict economic ties with Sri Lanka. He pointed out that this would only encourage China and displace India as a strategic and trading partner. The Indian Premier made these observations in response to a request made by the chief of the regional Marumalarashi Dravida Munnetra Kalagam party, V. Gopal Swamy, also known as Vaiko.
The Indian Premier made these observations in response to a request made by Vaiko. According to Indian media, Vaiko had urged the Indian government yesterday to revoke all economic ties with Sri Lanka following allegations of war crimes. Vaiko had also requested the government of India not to support Sri Lanka in the Human Rights Council of the United Nations.
I have emphatically requested the government of India not to support in any form hereafter in the Human Rights Council, because already the India has committed the betrayal and all the economic and commercial agreements entered with the Sri Lankan government should be revoked.
Meanwhile, according to an article appearing in the Hindu newspaper, Communist Party MP D. Raja is said to have expressed his surprise with the red carpet welcome extended to the Sri Lankan parliamentary delegation, which included the Speaker of the Sri Lankan Parliament, Chamal Rajapaksa.
The visit by the Sri Lankan delegation comes as the situation in post-war Sri Lanka and the Tamil issue are listed to be discussed in the Indian Parliament. According to the Hindu, addressing a press conference, Indian Communist Party MP D. Raja had stated that a debate is to be held in the Rajya Sabha next week on the plight of Sri Lankan Tamils with reference to war crimes and a political solution. Raja had gone on to state that despite generous help from the Indian government, the ground situation in Sri Lanka had not changed. Some members of the Indian Communist Party were present during the protest which took place in the Lok Sabha last Monday when the Sri Lankan delegation headed by Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa arrived there.
You're with the news first. Coming up on the news tonight, startling discovery of 30 baby pythons in Dahata Amuna. Egypt's Mubarak pleads not guilty at trial. And also Tiger Woods makes comeback to competitive golf.
Moving on with local news, Milangada Raja, the elephant with the longest tusks in Asia, passed away this afternoon.
Milangada Raja has been ill for around 5 months. When we visited SRA Milangada this morning, we could see the tusker lying in a feeble state. Milangada tusker was well taken care of even in its last moment, with the hope of keeping it alive at least for a little longer.
It has lived for 65 to 66 years now. This is its final stage. When we add the years it must have lived in the wild, it may be about 72 years of age. It loves sweets. When we go in the Perahara, we give various sweets to the tusker. It eats the sweets while participating in the Perahara.
The Milangada Raja, which participated in many religious activities including the Dalada Perahara, breathed its last at around 12 noon today. The owner of the tusker said that it will be buried subsequent to its skin being taken off in order to create a replica of the tusker. This tusker was found from the Miallava area in Anamadu, Navagattegama in 1945. Milangada Raja is considered to have the longest tusks in Asia, which was 7 feet long. The height of the tusker was 11 feet. The Milangada Raja has also carried the sacred casket in the Kandy Perahara in 2007, 2008 and 2009.
Venerable Devalduwe Gnanaprabha assumed duties as the chairman of the Ambalipitiya Urban Council today. The Thera, who contested on the Jatiki Helrume ticket at the local government election, received 5,895 preferential votes. Venerable Gnanaprabha launched a hunger strike on the 28th of last month, requesting that he who had received the highest number of preferential votes be appointed as the chairman of the Urban Council.
Devalduwe Gnanaprabha was brought to the Urban Council in a procession. Subsequently, Gnanaprabha assumed duties at an auspicious time. A group including representatives of other religions, Minister Vasudev Nanayakara and various other politicians were present at the event.
We invite all individuals of the Ambalipitiya Urban Council, including those who are eligible to vote, to provide us their support in this mission to develop Ambalipitiya.
Subsequently, a sal sapling brought from India was also planted by the chairman in the council premises.
Director of the Health Ministry's National Anti-Malaria and Anti-Dengue Program, Dr. Sarat Deniage, says that the BTI bacteria that was imported from Cuba to eradicate dengue will only be sufficient until next month. He said that if people cooperate and destroy dengue breeding grounds, there won't be a need to import the BTI bacteria.
When the BTI or Bacillus thuringiensis israelis bacteria is consumed by the dengue mosquito, it produces toxin which are effective in killing the mosquito larvae. The bacteria is used more often to kill mosquito larvae in areas where water cannot be easily disposed. The Health Ministry imported 10,000 milliliters of the BTI bacteria in September last year from Cuba after spending 38 million rupees.
People had a big hope that BTI would remove the dengue from Sri Lanka. But actually, as a health department, we never said that. We always said the BTA is one part of the game, not the main theme. Main thing is to remove the water bodies. We placed order for Cuban BTI last year, 2010. 2010 September we received the stock of 10,000. At the moment we are having only 800 liters of BTA in the stores. At the moment we have already put some orders for local BTA.
Meanwhile, the media reported about a pregnant mother who died after contracting the dengue virus.
We have not yet confirmed about the clinical diagnosis of this patient. So we have ordered the inquest. So all the maternal deaths, because it's mother maternal deaths, we have to, it's compulsory to do a postmortem. So after the inquest, postmortem will be carried out. So once we get the postmortem report, we can confirm the diagnosis.
A Gazette notification reinstating the Colombo Municipal Council was published today. According to the Secretary of the Ministry of Provincial Councils and Local Government, Dr. Nihal Jaitilaka, the Gazette was published by the subject minister. Accordingly, the Colombo Municipal Council will be reinstated on the 1st of November. The Secretary noted that with the publication of this Gazette notification, the Elections Commissioner will have the power to call for nominations to elect members to the CMC. The Chief Minister of the Western Province dissolved the CMC owing to financial discrepancies and corruption subsequent to an investigation and handed over the powers of the CMC to a special commissioner.